Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you that could change your life. The world doesn't stop for your struggles. It doesn't pause to feel sorry for you. Nobody is going to hand you success, and nobody cares about your excuses. But here's the good news. You don't need them to. Because the moment you stop waiting for permission, stop looking for sympathy, and start taking responsibility, that's the moment your life begins to change. Life rewards those who take charge. You've got to work hard, not because someone is watching, not because someone will applaud you, but because that's what it takes. The greatest investment you can make is in yourself. Your skills, your mindset, your discipline, that's what determines your future. So let me ask you, what are you focusing on? Are you focused on what others are doing, what they're saying, or how life is unfair? Or are you focused on developing yourself, growing stronger and moving forward? Success is simple, but it's not easy. It requires that you wake up early, stay disciplined, keep learning, take action every single day. Remember this, your life is your responsibility. You can't delegate your success. You can't blame circumstances. You must decide every day to work harder, to focus on your path, and to keep going, even when no one is cheering for you, because when you stay focused, when you stay committed, you will rise. And when you rise, the world will notice. Success doesn't need an audience, it demands effort. So stop waiting, stop complaining, start working. Nobody cares. Work hard and focus on you. Waiting for someone to push you or believe in you will only slow you down. Take responsibility for your own progress. Whether seen or unseen, every bit of effort compounds over time. What you build in private will show in public. Motivation is temporary, but discipline keeps you moving even when you don't feel like it. Stop worrying about what others think. The more you focus on yourself, the less their opinions matter. Complaining and blaming won't move you forward. Hard work and focus will. What you do consistently will shape your future. Small, disciplined actions lead to great success. Success begins in the dark, away from applause. Keep grinding when no one is watching. Looking at what others have achieved won't help you. Focus on running your own race. Life doesn't reward entitlement. It rewards action, persistence, and value creation. When you put in the work, you gain choices, opportunities, and control over your destiny. There comes a time in life when you have to look in the mirror and realize that everything you want, everything you dream of, is entirely in your hands. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to build your future for you. People can guide you, inspire you, even lend a helping hand, but at the end of the day, the heavy lifting is yours to do. It's easy to wait for the perfect moment, wait for someone to believe in you, wait for circumstances to change, but waiting never built a business, never created financial freedom, never turned a weak person into a strong one. Success isn't delivered, it's earned. And it's earned by those who decide that no matter what happens, they will take control of their own destiny. Many people spend their lives looking for shortcuts. They want someone to show them an easier way, a way without sacrifice, without discipline, without struggle. But the truth is, anything worthwhile demands effort. It requires you to show up every single day, to do the work, to develop the skills, to push forward, even when no one is watching, even when no one is cheering you on. Some people wait for motivation, hoping they'll wake up one day feeling ready to take on the world. But the secret is, you don't wait for motivation, you create it. And you create it by taking action. The smallest step forward, the smallest bit of progress fuels the next. That's how momentum is built. That's how great things happen. If you want success, if you want growth, if you want financial freedom, personal development, strong relationships, or any worthwhile achievement, you have to take responsibility for making it happen. Blaming others, blaming the economy, blaming circumstances, it's all wasted energy, because the moment you take full responsibility for where you are and where you're going, you gain power. And power is what separates those who get ahead from those who stay stuck. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for luck. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Take control of your life today. Decide that you will do what it takes, that you will learn what needs to be learned, that you will put in the effort, not because someone is forcing you, but because you refuse to settle for anything less than the life you're capable of creating. There's a simple truth in life. What you put in is what you get out. Effort is never wasted. Even when it feels like no one is noticing, even when the results aren't immediate, every ounce of effort is moving you forward in ways you can't always see. The problem most people have is they expect instant rewards. They want to plant a seed today and harvest the fruit tomorrow. But that's not how life works. Growth takes time. Skills take time. Success takes time. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They're the ones who showed up every day, put in the work, and trusted that the process would pay off. Look around. Every successful person you admire has a story of persistence. They didn't just wish for success, they worked for it. They stayed up late studying when no one else did. They practiced when it was inconvenient. They invested in themselves when others spent their time on distractions. They made sacrifices, endured challenges, and kept going when most people would have quit. And eventually, all that effort compounded into something remarkable. Now, here's the challenge. When you're in the middle of it, when you're putting in the work and not seeing the results yet, that's when most people give up. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing, there will come a moment when everything clicks. The doors will open, the opportunities will appear, and people will call you lucky. But it won't be luck. It will be the result of the effort you put in when no one was watching. Effort builds character. It builds discipline. It sharpens your skills and strengthens your mind. And once you develop the habit of giving your best, not just when you feel like it, but every single day, life starts to reward you in ways you never imagined. So keep going, keep learning, keep putting in the work. Because every bit of effort you invest in yourself, in your craft, in your dreams, it all adds up. It all counts. And one day, when success comes knocking, you'll know exactly why, because you earned it. There will be days when you feel inspired, when motivation is high, when everything seems to flow effortlessly. But there will also be days when you don't feel like doing anything, when the excitement fades, when distractions pull at you, when the excuses sound reasonable. And that's when discipline becomes the deciding factor. Most people let their feelings dictate their actions. If they feel like working, they work. If they don't, they find an excuse. But the truth is, feelings are unreliable. They change with the weather, with circumstances, with the opinions of others. Success, however, doesn't respond to feelings, it responds to discipline. Discipline is what keeps you going when the initial excitement is gone. It's what makes you wake up early when your body says, just a little more sleep. It's what makes you put in the extra effort when no one is watching. It's what keeps you committed to your goals long after the mood in which you set them has passed. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who feel motivated every day. They're the ones who have trained themselves to do what needs to be done no matter how they feel. They've conditioned themselves to take action whether they feel like it or not. And that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's difficult. It requires effort. But over time, it becomes a habit, a way of life. And once you develop the habit of discipline, you no longer rely on feelings to move forward. You move forward because that's who you've become. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, or the perfect conditions. Show up, put in the work, and let discipline carry you through. Because when emotions fade, when motivation disappears, it's discipline that will keep you on the path to success. One of the biggest traps in life is seeking approval instead of growth. Too many people spend their time worrying about what others think, trying to impress, trying to fit in. But here's the truth. Approval doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't build skills. It doesn't create success. Growth does. The moment you shift your focus from seeking validation to becoming better, everything changes. You stop worrying about whether people like you and start focusing on whether you like the person you're becoming. You stop chasing applause and start chasing progress. Because in the end, the people who truly matter will respect you not for how well you fit in, but for how much you've grown, how much you've accomplished, and the value you've created. Approval is a moving target. People's opinions change. One day they cheer for you, the next they criticize. If you let that control you, you'll never be free. But when you focus on growth, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who keeps learning, keeps improving, keeps moving forward, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Success doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being valuable. And value comes from developing yourself, your mindset, your skills, your discipline. It comes from putting in the work even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping. Because when you get better, when you develop yourself, opportunities come. Not because you sought approval, but because you became the kind of person who deserves success. So stop looking around for validation. Stop waiting for permission. Focus on becoming better. Focus on learning, on improving, on mastering your craft. Because the more you grow, the less you'll need approval. And one day when success finds you, you'll realize you never needed it in the first place. Excuses are easy. They're convenient. They make us feel better about where we are. But there's one thing excuses will never do. They will never pay the bills. They will never move you forward. They will never create success. It's easy to justify why things aren't working. The economy is tough. The timing isn't right. You didn't have the right opportunities. But the truth is, as long as you have an excuse, you have a reason to stay where you are. And as long as you stay where you are, nothing changes. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards results. You don't get paid for what you could have done, for what you intended to do, or for what held you back. You get paid for what you actually do, for the value you bring, for the results you create. And that requires action, not explanations. The most successful people in the world have faced obstacles. They've had setbacks, challenges, and disadvantages. But instead of making excuses, they made adjustments. Instead of complaining, they found solutions. They took responsibility, not because it was easy, but because they knew that no one was coming to hand them success. Now here's the hard truth. As long as you keep making excuses, you're training yourself to settle for less. Every time you justify an action, you reinforce the habit of staying stuck. But the moment you decide that excuses are no longer an option, everything changes. You start thinking differently. You start finding ways to make things work instead of reasons why they won't. And when that shift happens, success is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes inevitable. So let go of the excuses. Let go of the justifications. Focus on what you can do, on the actions you can take, on the progress you can make starting now. Because while excuses keep you comfortable, they won't build the life you want. And in the end, the only thing that will pay the bills is the work you put in. If you want to know where your life is headed, take a look at what you do every single day. Not once in a while, not when you feel like it, but your daily habits. Because success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. The small choices you make, the routines you follow, the discipline you develop, that's what shapes your future. Most people think their future will change with one big opportunity, one lucky break, one major event. But the truth is, your future is being shaped right now in the little things. How you spend your mornings, how you handle challenges, how you invest your time. These things may seem small in the moment, but over time, they compound. And in the end, they determine whether you succeed or stay stuck. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness, and you'll see a pattern. They didn't just get lucky. They developed habits that made their success inevitable. They woke up earlier. They read books instead of scrolling through distractions. They exercised discipline when others took shortcuts. They invested in their skills, their mindset, and their future, even when no one was watching. And because they stayed consistent, the results came not overnight, but over time. The danger is that bad habits work the same way. The habit of procrastination, the habit of making excuses, the habit of wasting time. These won't ruin your life in a day, but let them stack up. And in 5 years, 10 years, you'll look back and wonder why nothing changed. So the question is, what kind of habits are you building? Are you setting yourself up for growth, or are you reinforcing habits that hold you back? Because whether you realize it or not, your daily actions are casting a vote for the person you're becoming. And the good news is, you can change. You can start today. You can make small shifts. Wake up earlier, focus more, take action instead of waiting. And if you do that consistently, your future will look completely different. Success isn't a mystery, it's a result of habits, of discipline, of daily choices. So if you want a better future, don't wait for it, build it. And the way you build it is by winning the day, every single day. One of the greatest tests on the road to success is whether you can keep going when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one seems to care. Because in the beginning, that's exactly how it feels. You put in the work, you stay up late, you make sacrifices, and yet no recognition, no applause, no immediate reward. And this is where most people give up. But here's what you need to understand. The work you do in the dark is what prepares you for the light. The late nights, the early mornings, the relentless effort when no one is around, that's where true greatness is built. Every successful person you see today had a season of being unnoticed, a time when they had to believe in themselves when no one else did, a time when they had to keep showing up, not because of recognition, but because of commitment. The world doesn't reward potential, it rewards persistence. And persistence means being willing to put in the effort long before the rewards show up. It means studying when no one is grading you, practicing when no one is cheering for you, improving when no one is paying attention, Because if you can master consistency when no one is watching, you'll be unstoppable when the spotlight finally finds you. The reason most people never reach their goals is that they're too focused on immediate validation. If they don't see quick results, they assume it's not working. But real progress is invisible at first. It happens beneath the surface, in the small daily actions that seem insignificant. And then one day, the results appear and people call it overnight success. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't overnight. It was built in the moments when no one was watching, when no one believed in you yet, when you had every reason to quit but didn't. So, embrace being unnoticed. Let it be your training ground. Let it build your discipline, your resilience, your character. Because if you can stay committed when no one sees you, when no one praises you, then when success finally arrives, you'll be ready for it. And more importantly, you'll know you truly earned it. One of the fastest ways to drain your energy, your confidence, and your progress is to waste time comparing yourself to others. It's an easy trap to fall into. You look around and see people who seem to be ahead, making more money, achieving more success, living the life you want. And if you're not careful, you start measuring your worth against someone else's timeline. But here's the truth. Comparison is a distraction. It takes your focus off your own path and puts it on someone else's. And the moment you do that, you lose momentum. The reality is everyone's journey is different. You don't know the sacrifices they made, the struggles they faced, or the years of effort behind their success. All you see is the highlight reel. And if you're measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20, you'll always feel behind. But you're not behind. You're on your own path. And your only real competition is who you were yesterday. Success isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you used to be. The only thing that matters is whether you're growing, whether you're improving, whether you're taking steps toward your own vision. Because at the end of the day, you don't get rewarded for keeping up with someone else. You get rewarded for developing your own potential, for becoming the best version of yourself. The time you spend comparing could be spent creating. The energy you waste worrying about someone else's progress could be used to make your own. And the truth is, the people you admire didn't get where they are by looking around. They got there by staying focused on their own work. So let go of comparison. Let go of the idea that you need to match someone else's pace. Focus on your journey, your goals, your progress. Because the moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, that's when real success begins. One of the most powerful realizations in life is understanding that no one owes you anything. Not the government, not your family, not your friends, not your employer. The world doesn't operate on fairness. It operates on reality. And the reality is, if you want something, you have to go get it. Too many people spend their lives waiting for opportunities, waiting for someone to give them a break, waiting for life to hand them what they believe they deserve. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take action. It comes to those who refuse to sit around expecting someone else to make things easier for them. Now, that might sound harsh, but it's actually freeing. Because the moment you accept that no one is responsible for your success but you take back control. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, and you start focusing on what you can do. And that's when progress happens. Some people walk through life feeling entitled to success, entitled to wealth, entitled to respect. But respect is earned. Wealth is built. Success is created. The most successful people didn't sit around waiting for someone to hand them a better life. They worked for it. They sacrificed for it. They put in the time, the effort, the discipline, because they knew no one was coming to save them. If you want a better life, take responsibility for it. If you want more knowledge, go learn. If you want more money, develop more skills. If you want more opportunities, create them. But don't wait for someone to come along and make it easy, because they won't, and that's a good thing. Because when you build your own success, when you earn it with your own effort, no one can take it away from you. So don't wait, don't expect, don't rely on anyone else to do it for you. Take control. Own your journey. Because the sooner you realize that no one owes you anything, the sooner you'll realize that you have the power to create everything you want. Everyone wants freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, financial freedom, the ability to live life on their own terms. But here's what most people miss. Freedom isn't given, it's earned. And the price you pay for freedom is hard work. You see, real freedom doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or waiting for the perfect opportunity. It comes from putting in the effort, from developing skills, from creating value that the world rewards. People who avoid hard work end up trapped trapped in jobs they don't like, trapped in financial stress, trapped in a cycle of frustration because they never put in the work to create real options for themselves. Hard work is the foundation of independence. The more you work on yourself, the more skills you develop, the more valuable you become, the more choices you have. Instead of being stuck in a job you hate, you can create opportunities. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck, you can build wealth. Instead of being controlled by circumstances, you take control of your life. But here's the catch. Most people want the rewards without the effort. They want the lifestyle without the sacrifice. They want success without paying the price. And that's why so many stay stuck. Because freedom isn't free. It's the result of discipline, consistency, and an unwillingness to settle for less than your full potential. Now, this isn't about working yourself into exhaustion. It's about working with purpose. It's about building something that lasts. It's about making short-term sacrifices for long-term gain. Because the truth is, you can either work hard now and create freedom later, or you can take it easy now and be forced to work for survival the rest of your life. So the question is simple. Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to wake up earlier, stay later, push through discomfort, and stay committed when it gets tough? Because if you are, freedom is waiting on the other side. And the best part, when you finally earn it, you'll know that no one gave it to you, you built it. And that's a freedom no one can take away.